Welcome, friends. Hope everyone is doing well today. How is everyone doing? How are you guys doing? Let me know. And for those who are tuning in, be sure to say hello in the chat or in the comments if you're watching at another date. And we do this so that we can step forward in our connectivity space to feel that connection, to energetically be with one another, even though if we can't be with one another in a physical form right now. Well, we can, but it's not recommended. So this is a way for us to be together. And when we really are able to tap into that, it's quite beautiful and magical and true. Have any of you actually felt those feelings yet? I'm curious. When you log in and you're here in the connectivity space, I'm wondering, do you get those sensations, feeling of the other people? Do you get a sense for that? All right. So for today, our topic is one that is very near and dear to my heart. Yeah, that's great, Leanne. Well, you keep coming back, so I'm sure you must be gaining a lot from it. The connection is powerful. I feel very strongly, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm the host or not, but I definitely feel that connection. And that leads us into our topic, which is connecting to ourselves. So for today, the idea kept coming into my mind the last couple of days of taking control of our own wellness and our own health. And it feels, and for quite a while now, I've been in this industry, the wellness industry, for a long, long time. I guess since about 99 is when I really started to enter into it, even though before that I was well into it as well. But I got deeper, much deeper into it in about 1999. And ever since then, I have observed and watched um, the way that the system in general is treating people, the allopathic, naturopathic, and that sort of thing. And it seems as though we have been taught through the general idea that is brought forth that someone else needs to tell us what is wrong with us, and someone else who is apparently well studied is going to tell us what we need and what is best for our health. And for me personally, I can only speak for myself. I feel that 9 times out of 10, when I go to ask someone else for help with something, it's incorrect and it's not exactly what was needed. And I will find that out. And so the question becomes, how is it that we can develop this skill to tune in to what it is that we actually do need, and how can we develop that? And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today and maybe work on that, our ability to tune in to what it is that may be off balance in our body, in our mind, in our spirit, in all aspects of who we are. And how can we take control of our own wellness, our own health, and need or look outside of our own body, our own mind, and our own knowledge base of ourself less often. So we're not always running to else about it. How can we develop this inner trust? So I'm wondering how you all feel out there about this. Do you run to someone else, or do you sit with something for a while? Are you able to analyze it within yourself and perhaps do what is needed without going to search engines and things like that? Search engines can be scary because they'll show us certain things that maybe are true or maybe not, and then we're sitting there wondering. So I think that also can be a danger. So really, we've been taught, or the general narrative behind our wellness has been always to give it away to someone else and say, you take care of me, you fix me. And that can be a danger, a big danger, especially these days. And how do our emotions and our emotional reactivity affect our health and immunity? So that is the big question, right? And that is what initiates our wellness or lack thereof. Welcome, Marlene. No problem. I was a few minutes late myself today. And if you want to, I'm not sure if you all know this, but for those who are watching live, if you do show up late, you can just rewind it. If you want to catch up, you can rewind it back to the beginning and see what you missed. But it's wonderful to be here with all of you today. Does anyone have any ideas on everything that I've spoken about so far? Any thoughts on that? How is it that our emotions affect our immunity or our wellness? Does anyone have any idea or understanding of that? The body and the mind are one, right? We can't separate them. So when we think about things like stress, what happens when we're stressed? Our shoulders go up to our ears, and we have to go, breathe. Let's come into our body. Feel how you're sitting, feel how your posture is. How does your posture affect your emotions? So when we're sitting slouching, how do we feel? How does that make us feel versus when we're sitting tall and we're lifting and lengthening? What happens to our body when we're stressed? Fists, clenching, maybe our jaw, maybe our tongue. We hold it in our body. Our digestion shifts, everything shifts. So it is so intricately and intimately tied together. What about butterflies and nervousness? Right? When we feel that nervousness, where do we feel it? You go into your body. Where do you feel it? Usually it's the solar plexus. Sometimes you get aches or pains in various different areas. That is in itself a deep explanation right there of how stress and how emotions affect us. We feel it in our body. Many psychologists, psychiatrists, people who study the mind, they treat the body without a regard to the mind. Many doctors in general, they treat the body without thinking about the mind or the interrelationship between the two. The body and the mind are not separate, and we can't treat one without the other. We need to listen to what our bodies are telling us. Yes, and this is one of the things that yoga is so powerful for. And for those of you watching who are into yoga or any form of deep body awareness work, you'll know, because the more you practice, the more in tune you are with what your body needs, and you start to sense those things more clearly, rather than just running off to the doctor or running off to ask someone about issues. You can figure them out. You can work with it in your own body, and maybe even look at yourself with diet, with exercise, with mental health activities, and things like that. Here's an interesting quote you might like. My research has shown me that when emotions are expressed, which is to say that biochemicals that are the substrate of emotion are flowing freely, All systems are united and made whole. When emotions are repressed or denied, not allowed to be with, our network pathways get blocked, stopping the flow of the vital, feel good, unifying chemicals that run both our biology and our behavior. That was said or written by Candace Pert, who wrote the book Molecules of Emotion. And for those who may be interested in delving a little more into that, I brought the book here to show you. It's a well used book, Molecules of Emotion. Great book, especially if you want to get into a little bit more detail on that topic. Here's another great quote. Each of our cells is a living entity, and the main thing that influences them is our blood. If I open my eyes in the morning and my beautiful partner is in front of me, my perception causes a release of oxytocin, dopamine, growth hormones, all of which encourage the growth and health of my cells. But if I see a saber-toothed tiger, I'm going to release stress hormones, which change the cells to a protection mode. People need to realize that their thoughts are more primary than their genes, because the environment, which is influenced by our thoughts, controls our genes. So, another thing to consider, our environment is a part of us. So, whatever you have in your environment, whether it's happy relationship, wonderful pets, good friends, right down to the atmosphere of the temperature of your space, to the smells you have in your space, anything that is received or ingested through all of the sense doorways is going to affect you. When your mind is fully withdrawn in super consciousness, it becomes centered in the bliss of the spine. You are then in your ideational or causal body, and that is the level of the soul. And that is a quote by Paramahansa Yogananda, who is one of the great yogis who brought, one of them, who brought yoga over here to the Western civilization. So, with all of those ideas in mind, how do we put this into practice? That is a big question. And some of you who have done my yoga classes may know I've done some classes on building intuition. So, that's a similar practice to what we're going to do today on a much simpler level. But let us begin. Let's take our 6 soft belly breaths. Sitting up nice and tall, gently closing your eyes, creating space for the lungs to breathe. Let's allow our seat bones to get grounded, connected to the earth, and just take a moment to tune in. What do you notice on the inside? What is your connection like to the grounding energy of the earth? And can you get a sense for that? Allowing the seat bones to become grounded and centered. Taking a moment to simply notice the body, pardon me. Noticing the body as you settle. What do you notice on the inside? What do you notice in the sensations from the seat bones all the way up to the top of the head? So as you pass your attention through the body from bottom to top, what do you sense? What do you feel? What do you notice? Now, when you're ready, I'm going to bring our attention to the third eye energy center, which is right between the eyebrows, around the center of the head. And as you breathe for today, I suggest breathing into that area with your attention and awareness. So as you exhale, empty the lungs. On the inhale, softening into the belly, right into the navel, full inhalation. Exhale through the nose, soften, soften, soften as you step forward into the connectivity space. Inhale into the navel, full expansion. Bring the breath to the third eye energy center and exhale, soften, soften, soften. Inhale into the navel. Bring the breath up with your intention into the third eye. Exhale through the nose, soften, soften, soften as you step forward. Continuing, inhale to the navel, full expansion, right up to the third eye energy center. Exhale, soften, let go, soften, let go. Number 5, inhale into the navel, full expansion to the top. Bring the breath and your awareness right up into the third eye. Exhale, soften, soften, soften. And last cycle of breath, inhale into the navel, full expansion to the top of the breath. Bring the breath and awareness right up into the third eye. Exhale, soften, soften, soften. Stepping into the circle, getting a sense for the others that are here with us, and also a sense for those who are here with us at any point later in your now moment. Noticing what you see, what you feel, what you sense on the inside. Now we're going to take a longer scan from the top of the head, witnessing the scalp, moving down as you soften the forehead, soften the face, the jaw, the mouth, the tongue. Now, as you pass your attention through the body, remain aware of what you feel, what you see, or what you sense, making mental notes of the areas that stand out for you. Keeping in mind that we are delving a little more deeply into these areas today. Slowly passing your attention down the face, relaxing the neck, all the muscles in the front and the back of the neck, relaxing the throat, the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the lower arms, relaxing the hands and all the fingers, moving down the trunk of the body as you relax the entire heart center area. Relax the rib cage and all the muscles that surround the ribs. Relax the abdomen. Relax the breath. Relax the entire back body from the shoulder blades to the lower back. Relax the hips, the seat, the muscles in the thighs, the muscles in the hamstrings, relaxing the knees, the shins, the calves, relaxing the ankles, the tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, and each toe, getting a sense for each toe. Sending your awareness back now to the third eye energy center. Resting attention there. Thinking for a moment about the area that stood out the most for you in your body scan. What area stood out the most for you? Was it the sensation was intense? Was it an energy blockage? Was it a pain, an ache? Just putting a very simple word to it in your mind. Now, drawing a line from your third eye to that place with your awareness and your intention, drawing a line from the third eye to that place. Taking a moment to observe whatever arises for you. Just sitting with it for a moment, as though you're sitting having tea with a friend. Just sitting, observing, allowing whatever to arise to arise. Allowing that connection between the third eye and the area of focus to become stronger. Notice what that connection feels like, what it looks like, and anything else that arises for you about the connection. Now, maintaining your awareness and attention on the area of focus, beginning to ask it a few questions. If you are unsure of what to ask, you may ask something like, "What do you have to teach me?" What is it that I need to know about you? What do I need to change or shift in my life so that I have a deeper understanding? What needs to be let go of? what needs to happen. Does it have a color? Does it have a shape? Does it have a texture? Does it have a feeling, a sensation? Allowing all those questions to bubble up and just allowing the information to come through as it feels right for you. Allowing all tension to leave body, mind, as you simply rest in pure conscious awareness. Beginning to slowly deepen your breath as you send breath into the connection cord between the third eye and the place of focus. Sending that stream of silvery light to your area of focus. Let's take about 6 big breaths, soft belly breaths, right into the navel, expansion to the third eye. Inhale, expansion, exhale, soften. Soften your awareness, soften your gaze, soften all the inner edges. Feeling that strong connection. And whether or not anything is arising for you doesn't matter. You are strengthening your connection and building upon that. Taking one more full, complete breath. And on your next exhale, emptying through the mouth. Placing palms together at heart center. Let's take a moment tuning into your body as a whole being, connecting to your heart center. Let's take a moment here to share all of our wonderful magical vibrations with someone special in your life. And let's bow to the divine light that shines from each one of us, connecting us as one. Namaste. Namaste to you who are watching in the future as well. Be sure to leave a hello or a little smiley in the comments to let us know and to step forward into the connectivity space. How was that? Does anyone have anything to feel? What did you see? Did anything interesting arise for you that was maybe allowing you to become deeper aware of something? Does anyone have anything? How was that for you, Marlene? Did anything arise for you? If anyone feels comfortable, please share. Otherwise, let me know later if you like. You can always message me. But I'm always curious to know how the practice affects you, if there is anything that arises for you. 2, 3. And be sure to connect with each other. And thank you, everyone, for joining. And we will see you next time. Lots of love. Ooh, before I leave, Leanne. It was my digestion. Was it telling you something? That you gotta have some lunch? Oh boy, lunch sounds good right about now. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's really special to be here with you and an honor. We'll see you tomorrow, if not later. Lots of love and have an awesome day.